Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to a new day. Excuse me. This is your neighborhood sensei Fouché. And something that I was speaking about earlier in a few discussions outside of this forum that I speak about regularly. That is a pretty strong pet peeve of mine is when we mention how we don't have enough time. How many times have we said, oh, yeah, I knew I was supposed to do this, but, I didn't have enough time. I, I had these plans, to fill this paperwork out, but I didn't have enough time. I knew that I was speaking about reading more, but I don't have enough time. I knew I was supposed to help my kid with their homework, but I don't have enough time. No, 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 no. Let me stop you right there. When we mention an untruth about not having enough time, that's really not true. And you know it. There is always enough time. Time is an illusion. So, let's look up the word illusion. And then we're going to look up time. And we're all generally familiar with these terms and, generically what they are. But, we're going to start breaking some stuff down because, a lot of us are out there trying to fool ourselves into something or things that are not true. And before other people lie to us, we are lying to ourselves. Before we lie to others, we lie to ourselves. So, time, defined, Oxford Languages, the indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future regarded as a whole. That's definition 1. Definition 2. A point of time as measured in hours and minutes past midnight or noon. That's definition 2. Definition 3. Time as alluded or used. These are all in noun references. Again, time alluded, available or used. Time as alluded or allocated. So, basically, it is available, used in schedule. Let's go to the verbs. In the reference of a verb, time is defined as a plan, schedule, or arrange when something should happen or be done. That's definition 1. Definition 2, measure the time taken by a process, activity, or a person doing it. Now, I mentioned the word illusion, so let's define that. Illusion, a thing that is or is likely to be wrongly perceived or interpreted by the senses. That's definition 1. Definition 2, a deceptive appearance or impression, a false idea or belief. So, when you disregard the aspect of what time should be, you create a different impression of what you describe for time to be. So when I say time is an illusion, time is basically what you choose to make it. Not having time is really not making time. You're not making time to commit to something. You're too busy talking about what you can't do as opposed to what you can do and when you can do it. So again, time is what you choose for it to be or what you make it to be, depending on what your reality of choice is. So time is an illusion. Time is what you make it. Every minute counts. Have you ever heard that term? Beware of your time. Be cautious or conscious of your time. Every minute counts. Right? Every minute counts. Live life to the fullest. Every minute counts. Right. Let's count time in minutes, since we're talking about every minute counts. Every minute counts. Okay, so what do we have? 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So, in those generic terms, let's break them down into minutes for this so-called time. Because when we speak in those numbers, they seem very small, right? 24. We could count to 24 in less than a minute, right? We could count to 7 in less time than that, within that minute. 365, that's a little bit of a larger number, but, you know, we could still count that number in starting from 1 in continued succession up to that point. I would say you would probably more than likely definitely be able to do that. And we'll use a loose time of 15 minutes to count up to 365. So if we say we don't have enough time, it's 24 hours in a day. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. If we do the math in terms of minutes, that equates to 1,440 minutes in 1 day. Again, in 1 day, translated into minutes, there are 1,440 minutes within one day. Well, that's just one day. I have a whole week of things. Well, let's break it down into a week. There's 7 days in a week. If you transpose the days and the 24 hours in each day, 7 days a week, into minutes, 10,080 minutes in a week. There are 365 days in a year. 525,600 minutes in a year. What are you doing within those 525,600 minutes of the year? You don't have enough time, right? You don't have enough time. 525,600 minutes. Now, usually, I would say that it takes about 3 years to see a serious result into a specific accomplishment. If we were to transpose 3 years into minutes in regards to 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days in a year, that number transposes into 1,576,800 minutes to make up 3 years. Let's go 5 years. If we do the number in transposition to 5 years' time in regards to transposing time into minutes, because every minute counts, we get the number or the equation of 2,628,000 minutes within a 5-year time element. That is a large number. There's not enough time. I don't have enough time. Let's go back to 1 year. 525,600 minutes a year for you to try to accomplish something specific, and you don't have enough time. That is a lie. There is always enough time. That goes into wasted time. Now, if we speak about time wasted, the only wasted time is wanting or wishing for something with no commitment or assertiveness towards that goal. That's wasted time. So let's go into aspects of things that we desire that cause for us to excuse or give excuses for the time that we say we don't have. So what are we doing? within this time that we say we don't have. What? Smoke breaks, drinking, partying in general, drug activity, hard drugs, soft drugs, any kind of activity that causes sluggishness, or a lack of attention. That right there are aspects of wasting time. Things that cause for you to distract or needs a form of recovery in order to be back at a stationary point of hoping to accomplish something moving forward. So then, with the uses of certain aspects of choice, we regress into a forward commitment into applying time effectively. Being on your phone, social media trolling, putting our attention into what other people are doing as opposed to what we should be doing. So you have time to scroll through your phone and scroll or troll others in what they're doing, and following and focusing on what they're doing, commenting or judging on what they're doing, and not committing that same time into the time we say we don't have available. Hypocrite. Because that's basically what it is. I mean, I didn't judge you. Your actions of what you spoke judged itself. And I just observed it. And there are labels attached to those categories or choices of being. You watch TV. Instead of, you say you wanted to read more, but you don't have the time. But you're darn sure reading the comments to these social media sites and posts that really have little or no regard towards goals and ambitions that you're trying to aspire or attain towards. Watching television. Well, I need to wind down. My life is all stressful. Yeah, that's all good and fine, but, what are you watching? Are you watching things in aspect towards goals or accomplishments or lifestyle that you're seriously trying to apply? And not something frivolous and generic and really what I would label as dumb. There really isn't any spiritual or focused foundation to these desires other than just frivolous what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now, but you're just basically just living for pleasure or bliss. Listening to music. Instead of reading or watching or listening to something that has a high level of connection to something that you're trying to aspire or accomplish than you just randomly listen to something generic and counterproductive in attitude and feeling towards a different way of what you say that you want to be. Sleeping, you're tired, and the reason why you're tired is because you don't commit towards putting value into something goal oriented. You stay indoors. You don't socialize with others and interact into getting feedback and being able to generate connections and relationships with people in a same aspiring field or has a level of experience in that field, and putting yourself in environments to where you're able to absorb and question and to seeking answers to direct you towards that path and final destination point of what you want. I mean, I'm basically expressing to discontinue lying, not to others, but to yourself, primarily in regards to the time you say you do not have. It is not true. It's BS. It's a myth. It is hypocritical. Time is an illusion. There's always enough time. It's not how much you do in a specific short period of time. It is continued progression and commitment, constant commitment and daily application into something that is important as far as an aspired accomplishment that you want to achieve. So when you say there's not enough time, you're not lying to me, you're lying to yourself. And I know it, and others know it, because your consistent habits always fall back into you sounding like a puppet. So next time you talk about or reference the time you didn't or don't have, think about it. You're not trying to convince me more than you're trying to convince yourself of the lie of complacency, to not hold yourself accountable, and to your lack of commitment. Call it for the untruth. It is. And focus the time ahead you choose to make available. Be serious about your commitments. Be serious about the things that you say and what you really mean by those things that you say, the commitments that you make, not only to others, but mostly to yourself. Be conscious, real, and cautious of what you share, what you tell, and what you commit to. Again, there's always enough time. Time is an illusion. What do you do with your time, and how do you respect your commitments? That's all I got. Be smooth. One.